The INDOMINUS Rex killed for sport, the INDORAPTOR haunted like a slasher villain, and the T-Rex could crush a car with its jaws. But which prehistoric screen predator truly deserves the title of deadliest in media history? Let's start with number 10, and don't let that ranking fool you, because this monster would turn you into a prehistoric pancake without even trying. Remember that giant albino dinosaur from Ice Age? The one that took Buck's eye and terrorized everyone underground? That's Rudy, a massively oversized baryonyx that makes the T-Rex look like a house pet. This thing is absolutely ridiculous in terms of scale. Based on how he towers over Manny the mammoth, Rudy is easily over 100 feet long. That's longer than a professional basketball court. Now, the real baryonyx from the early Cretaceous was only about 30 feet long with a crocodile-like snout and specialized fishing claws. But Ice Age said, nah, let's make him the size of an office building and pure white so he looks extra terrifying. Well, he doesn't actually kill anyone on screen. It's a kid's movie after all. The entire plot revolves around how unstoppable and feared he is. He's basically the underground world's boogeyman. Imagine you're walking through that dinosaur paradise below the ice. You hear a rumble that shakes loose stalactites from the ceiling. You think it's just an earthquake until you see a massive white shadow moving through the mist. By the time you realize what's happening, you're already in Rudy's path. And here's where all you built different commenters get a reality check. Your survival plan against Rudy isn't about fighting or outsmarting him. It's about whether you're too small to be worth the effort. You're not even a snack. You're a crumb that might get stuck in his teeth by accident. What makes Rudy even more terrifying is his single-minded determination. This dinosaur held a grudge against a weasel for years. Imagine what he'd do if you actually managed to annoy him. But if you think Rudy's size is the scariest thing on our list, wait until you meet our number 9 contender, a bright red T-Rex with an intelligence that's almost human. What if a T-Rex is fire engine red and smart enough to understand what you're saying? That's Devil Dinosaur for you. Created by the legendary Jack Kirby back in 1978, this crimson carnivore isn't just your average dinosaur. He's a comic book character with his own series who later teamed up with a super smart kid named Lunella Lafayette in Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And yes, he's literally bright red all over, which isn't exactly great for hunting, but it looks awesome on a comic book page. What makes Devil truly scary isn't his size, it's his brain. Unlike regular dinosaurs, Devil's got near human intelligence. He understands complex plans, recognizes people, and forms deep emotional bonds. He's basically a giant, scaly, red dog with a bite force that can crush a car. The funny thing about Devil Dinosaur is that your chances of survival completely depend on the situation. If you're Moon Girl's friend, congratulations, you got a loyal dinosaur bodyguard who protects you from aliens, robots, and supervillains. But if you threaten his friends, oh boy. In the comics, Devil's been shown chomping enemies clean in half and swallowing bad guys whole. Even funnier is how Devil gets dragged into typical Marvel superhero nonsense. One minute he's fighting Dr. Doom. The next he's helping save New York from some cosmic threat. Imagine being a bank robber and suddenly a bright red T-Rex in a superhero team-up bursts through the wall. That's just a regular Tuesday in Marvel New York though. But if you thought a super intelligent dinosaur was scary, wait until you see our next contender. Now we're stepping into seriously brutal territory with Fang from Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal. If you haven't seen this Emmy-winning masterpiece, it's basically a dialogue-free show about a female T-Rex and a caveman teaming up to survive in a world where everything wants to kill them. And when I say brutal, I mean brutal. This show does not hold back on the blood and gore. Fang is technically just a regular T-Rex, about 40 feet long and 8 to 9 tons of muscle and teeth. But what makes her special is how the show portrays her as an emotional, thinking creature who experiences grief, rage, and eventual friendship. After losing her babies to a pack of other dinosaurs, she goes on a revenge rampage that would make John Wick look like an amateur. The deadliest thing about Fang isn't her size or even her teeth. It's her partnership with Spear the Caveman. These two developed hunting strategies that would make them way more dangerous than either would be alone. Like when they take down those giant bats by working together, or their coordinated attack on the Night Feeder. And let me tell you something, if you think you're built different enough to survive in Primal's world, you're absolutely delusional. The imaginary scientists I consult for this channel give you about a 5% chance of survival, and that's being generous. The show's whole vibe is that this prehistoric world is a non-stop horror movie where literally everything is trying to eat you. There's this one episode where Fang and Spear fight this invisible dinosaur that hunts at night, the Night Feeder. Even they barely survived that encounter. If the show's two main characters almost die, what chance do you think you have with your pocket knife and that one camping trip you went on against them? They eventually beat this creature, so they are stronger than it. The craziest part is that despite all the carnage, you actually end up caring about Fang. She's not just a monster, she's practically a character with her own emotional journey. A character who happens to bite other dinosaurs in half on the regular. But as vicious as Fang is, she's about about to look like a kitten compared to what happens when the Jurassic franchise decided to go bigger than the T-Rex. The Jurassic franchise has a pattern. Whenever they need a new big bad, they find a dinosaur that's supposedly bigger than the T-Rex. Enter the Giganotosaurus. This main carnivore was the main dinosaur villain in Jurassic World Dominion, and they made sure to scale it up just enough to make it more impressive than our girl Rexy. The movie version is about 50 feet long and weighs around 15 tons, which is bigger than your mom, or bigger than real fossil evidence suggests. They also added these cool looking spiky ridges along its back to make it look more threatening on screen. In reality, Giganotosaurus was a carcharodontosaurid from Argentina that lived millions of years before T-Rex even existed. They never would have met, unless you're making a movie and need a dramatic dinosaur showdown. The director actually wanted the Giga to have a personality like the Joker. Chaotic and unpredictable, but honestly, it doesn't get enough screen time to really show that off. Like comparing it to Jurassic World 1, I just feel like there's more of a connection to the INDOMINUS Rex, and it's way more terrifying. Basically in Dominion, it kills a deer, fights some other dinosaurs, and that's about it, and it dies. For all the hype, the Giga is strangely underused. And like, I feel like Ark Survival Evolved really catapulted the Giga into the spotlight of cool dinosaurs, so it's really strange they didn't use it a ton. The most memorable Giga moment is probably the final three-way battle between it, Rexy, and that weird knife-handed Tyrannosaurus. I love how they basically recreate a WWE tag team match with dinosaurs.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Now, all you built different commenters thinking you could take on the Giga, yeah, there's no way you're surviving that. You're basically just a crunchy snack between teeth the size of bananas. The weirdest part about the Giga is that for such a hyped up villain, it actually has a surprisingly low screen time kill count. It's like they built up this incredible monster, but then forgot to let it be monstrous. It's the most PG terror on our list so far. And we have Rudy from the Ice Age movie. But if you want a dinosaur that actually lives up to its hype as a T-Rex killer, look no further than our next contender, the sailback Nightmare from Jurassic Park III that had fans losing their minds. Now we're entering truly controversial territory. If you've seen the movie, you remember when this sailback monster showed up and killed a T-Rex? Fans are still mad about it 20 years later. The directors basically said, you thought T-Rex was scary? Well, here's something bigger that can snap its neck like a twig. This beast was portrayed as an unstoppable force of nature around 50 to 60 feet long. That sail on its back isn't just for show. It's like a giant billboard advertising apex predator coming through. The movie version has powerful jaws with cone-shaped teeth perfect for gripping, massive claws, and apparently a personal vendetta against everyone on Isla Sorna. Here's where it gets funny though. Scientists have completely changed how they think Spinosaurus actually looked since 2001. Turns out the real Spinosaurus was more like a giant weird river monster. Recent discoveries show it had shorter legs, dense bones for swimming, and even a paddle-like tail. It hunted giant fish, not T-Rexes. Basically, the movie version is as scientifically accurate as the unicorn is. But accuracy isn't what makes it terrifying. What makes the Jurassic Park III Spino nightmare fuel is how it just won't stop coming. It's like the dinosaur version of the Terminator. It survives almost getting hit by a plane crash, even being set on fire. Oh, and you think water is safe? Nope, this thing swims now too. You know what's wilder than one super predator though? How about 3 working as a team? That's exactly what our next contender brings to the table. And they nearly took down King Kong himself. So you remember watching Peter Jackson's King Kong remake? Well, when you weren't watching giant bugs or Jack Black being Jack Black, you were witnessing something truly terrifying. The VASTATOSAURUS Rex pack. These aren't just T-Rexes. They're what the movie imagines T-Rexes would evolve into if they survived for millions of years on a crazy island like Skull Island. And the results are absolutely horrifying. The V-Rex is a super predator nightmare, 50 to 70 feet of pure muscle, weighing up to 20 tons. That's scientifically bigger than any real T-Rex. They've got armor plating along their backs like a crocodile. They have 3 fingers instead of the T-Rex's stubby 2. Evolution apparently said, you know what would make this killing machine better? Another finger to grab stuff with. But what makes the V-Rexes terrifying isn't just their size or their extra fingers, it's that they hunt in packs. Remember the scene they show up in where 3 of them attack King Kong simultaneously while he's trying to protect Anne? That's not just movie spectacle, that's smart predator behavior. The coordination is what would kill you. While you're focused on the one in front, another one's already flanking you from the side. They use actual tactics. They take turns attacking Kong, working together to bring down something even bigger than themselves. And speaking of bringing down bigger prey, these things nearly kill King Kong. The same King Kong who fights Godzilla almost gets taken out by 3 big T-Rex. The V-Rex pack proves that evolution can make something scarier than nature's original design. What happens when science deliberately tries to create the perfect killing machine? Our next contender is the result of that mad science, complete with venom quills and the ability to make copies of itself. Just when you thought genetic engineering couldn't get more terrifying than the dinosaurs in the main Jurassic movies, along comes the Scorpios Rex from the animated series Camp Cretaceous. This thing is Dr. Wu's first attempt at making a hybrid dinosaur, basically his rough draft before the INDOMINUS, and let me tell you, it's like a walking biology experiment gone horribly wrong. It's about 30 feet long, but it's easily one of the most nightmarish. Look at this thing. This thing is a genetic cocktail of T-Rex, Velociraptor, Carnotaurus, tree frog, and scorpionfish DNA. That last one is particularly important because it gives this monster its signature weapon, venomous quills that it can shoot from its tail. These aren't just any poison darts either. They cause paralysis, hallucinations, and extreme aggression. So not only does this thing hunt you, but it can also turn every other dinosaur around you into a raging killing machine. It's like it weaponizes the entire ecosystem against you. As if that wasn't bad enough, it can see your body heat like the Predator, climb walls like Spider-Man, and here's the real kicker, it can reproduce asexually. That means one Scorpios Rex can suddenly become two, double the nightmare. The show portrays it almost like a slasher movie villain. It stalks the kids through the jungle and abandoned buildings, disappearing and reappearing when you least expect it. It's not just hunting, it seems to enjoy the terror it causes. And before I forget, the Scorpios Rex is mentally unstable just like me. Dr. Wu literally locked it up because it was too unpredictable and violent. When the guy who makes monsters for a living thinks something is too dangerous, you know you're in trouble. But if you think the Scorpios Rex is scary, wait until you see what happens when they perfect the formula and shrink it down to hunting size. Our next contender brings dinosaur terror indoors. Remember hiding under your bed as a kid thinking you were safe from monsters? The INDORAPTOR is exactly why that strategy never works. Fallen Kingdom took dinosaur terror out of the jungle and brought it right into your house with this nightmarish creation. The INDORAPTOR isn't the biggest predator on our list, only about 24 feet long and weighing around a ton, but it might be the most perfectly designed killing machine ever put on screen. The thing is basically what happens when scientists take the already terrifying INDOMINUS Rex, shrink it down, and mix in extra Velociraptor DNA to make it faster, smarter, and able to hunt in tight spaces. The result? A dinosaur that treats your home like its personal hunting ground. What makes the INDORAPTOR truly terrifying is its intelligence. Plays dead to trick its captors and seems to actually enjoy toying with its prey. Remember that scene where it slowly extends its claw towards the sleeping girl? That's not just hunting, that's psychological warfare. It's got all the physical tools too. Keen senses that might include night vision or echolocation, the ability to run on 4 legs when it needs the speed, and those classic raptor claws that can slice through practically anything. Oh, and it can apparently be trained to attack specific targets using a laser pointer and sound cue. You know, just in case you wanted a dinosaur assassin. The bedroom stalking scene is straight out of a horror movie. The way it climbs on the roof, reaches through windows, and creates that classic monster under the bed moment, pure nightmare fuel. And don't get me started on how it kills in this movie. It seems to smile before it eats people. But even this genetic monstrosity can't claim the top spot on our list. Let's talk about the dinosaur that started it all. The icon, the legend, the star of the original Jurassic Park. When dinosaurs ruled the earth, that banner falling in front of Rexy as she roars in the original Jurassic Park isn't just an iconic movie moment. It's a perfect summary of how this dinosaur has ruled our imaginations for 30 years. Let's be real, when most people think dinosaur, they picture the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. At around 40 feet long and weighing 7 to 9 tons, Rexy isn't even the biggest predator on our list, but she's definitely the most famous. What makes the T-Rex so terrifying isn't just size, it's how perfectly Spielberg introduced her to us. The ripples in the water, the goat leg on the roof, the broken fence, and then the roar. The Jeep attack scene is a masterclass in building tension before unleashing chaos. Scientists estimate a T-Rex had the strongest bite force of any land animal ever, enough to crush a car. The film shows this power repeatedly, whether she's snapping velociraptors like toys or chewing through a lawyer hiding on a toilet. Poor man never stood a chance. I always thought this was a really funny moment as a kid. Maybe that kind of shaped my dark humor, but too late now. What's fascinating about Rexy is how her role evolves throughout the franchise. The familiar devil they released to fight the INDOMINUS. By Dominion, she's practically the series mascot. Her consistent presence gives her an impressive body count across 6 movies. From those velociraptors in the original, to the Carnotaurus in Fallen Kingdom, to the Giganotosaurus in Dominion. She's the dinosaur equivalent of a final girl in horror movies. She always survives to roar another day. But even the mighty T-Rex had to surrender the top spot to something specifically engineered to be deadlier, smarter, and more terrifying than anything nature could produce. This is the ultimate prehistoric nightmare, the Indominus Rex, the most terrifying creature to ever stomp across a movie screen. This thing isn't just a dinosaur, it's a genetic Swiss Army knife of terror. The base is T-Rex, but then they added Velociraptor for speed and intelligence, cuttlefish DNA for camouflage, tree frog genes to mask its heat signature, and who knows what else. It's like they had a checklist of ways to die and just kept adding to it. At around 50 feet long and weighing over 10 tons, the Indominus is physically imposing, but size isn't what makes it the deadliest predator on our list. It's that terrifying combination of brains and abilities. This thing is smarter than the Velociraptors and can literally disappear right in front of you. Remember that scene where the ACU team goes hunting for it in the forest? They don't even realize it's right there until it starts changing color. Then it picks them off one by one like it's playing a game. When I saw this moment in theaters, I was scared out of my mind. This was such a cool reveal. The Indominus doesn't just kill to eat either. It kills for fun. There's the heartbreaking scene where Owen finds a whole herd of Apatosaurus slaughtered but not eaten. The Indominus killed them just because it could. That's not predatory behavior. That's sadism. Its problem-solving skills are off the charts too. It remembered exactly where they implanted its tracking device and clawed it out. Figured out how to trick the thermal cameras. It even somehow knew how to communicate with the raptors and temporarily turn them against the humans. The Indominus is probably the highest kill count of any creature on our list, directly killing numerous people, causing the pterosaur escape that wreaked havoc on the park visitors, taking down multiple large dinosaurs including the Ankylosaurus that stood no chance despite its armor. T-Rex and a Velociraptor team up to push the Indominus in exactly the right spot at exactly the right moment. This thing would not have died at the end of Jurassic World 1 if there wasn't a giant Mosasaurus right there. It was about to solo the rest of them. So there you have it, the ultimate prehistoric killing machine that's smarter than you, can't be seen by human eyes, can't be detected by thermal, and treats killing like a hobby. Sweet dreams. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel where we talk about all things dinosaurs from movies to actual prehistory. And comment down below if you think I missed any dinosaurs from famous movies. I'd love to hear your opinions. If you want to watch more videos about dinosaurs, click the video on screen now.